Hi friends, in this video we are going to see the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. It just comes under Part 5, the Union, the Executive. Who is the Prime Minister according to the Constitution? The Prime Minister and Council of Ministers, they are exercising the executive powers of the President. The President cannot exercise all his executive powers through the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. He will exercise his executive powers. So according to the Constitution, Article 74, the Constitution provides that there shall be a Council of Ministers with the Prime Minister at the head to aid and advise the President in the exercise of his functions. This is what dealt in Article 74. So the word shall indicates that the President cannot function without the Council of Ministers. So according to the Constitution, the head of the state is President, but the real head of the state, the government, is the Prime Minister. Appointment of the Prime Minister. Normally the President can invite a leader of majority party to form the government after the election. But if there is no single party have the clear majority, the President can invite the person who is likely to command support two or more parties to make the majority in the Lok Sabha. Normally the Prime Minister, the leader of the majority party in the Lok Sabha. Sometimes the Prime Minister may come from Rajya Sabha, or he may not be the member of either Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. But after he becomes the Prime Minister, within 6 months, he has to become the member of any one of the houses, that is Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. If he fails to do that, automatically he or she ceases to be a Prime Minister. All the ministers are collectively as well as individually responsible to the Lok Sabha. Generally, the members of the Council of Ministers are appointed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. The Council of Ministers consists of two categories, mainly two categories, that is Cabinet Minister and Minister of State. The Minister of State comes next to the Cabinet Minister. The ministers other than Cabinet Minister normally will not attend the Cabinet meeting. Generally, the Prime Minister presides over the meeting of the Cabinet. All the policy matters are decided in the Cabinet meeting itself. So what are the power and functions of the Prime Minister? This is dealt in Article 77. The Prime Minister, the PM, he is the most important and powerful functionary of the Union government, that is central government. He is head of the government and leader of the Lok Sabha. Normally, the Prime Minister is principal advisor to the President, and he is the visible face or spokesperson in the international affairs. He is the Prime Minister is the link between the President and Cabinet. The decisions of the Cabinet are conveyed to the President by the Prime Minister. So what are the duties of the Prime Minister? This is dealt in Article 78. So he is the medium of communication between the President and the Council of Ministers regarding all the decisions made by the Council of Ministers related to administration of the affairs of the Union and proposals for the legislation. Like the same way, he to furnish such information relating to the administration of the affairs of the Union and proposal for the legislation as the President may call for. If the President requires to submit the consideration of the Council of Ministers any matter on which a decision has to be taken by a minister but which has not been considered by the Council. So here is the list of Prime Minister till date. Our first Prime Minister, he had 2 terms, that is 47 to 52. Then till 1964, not 2 terms, that is 47 to 52, then 52 to 57, then 52 57 to 62, then 62 to until his death, that is Jawaharlal Nehru. After that, interim Prime Minister, after the death of Jawaharlal Nehru, interim Prime Minister Gulzarilal Nanda, then Lal Bahadur Shastri after his death, because he also not completed his full term. After his death, after Lal Bahadur, again the interim Prime Minister Gulzarilal Nanda, then Indira Gandhi, Morarji Desai, Charan Singh, again Indira Gandhi. After her death, her son Rajiv Gandhi. Then after the full term, VP Singh, then Chandrasekhar. These people did not had full term. Then PV Narasimha Rao, he completed his full term. Then only for 16 days, AB Vajpayee, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Then HD Devegowda, IK Gujral. Then again Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Then Manmohan Singh, 2 terms. Then presently Narendra Modi, he sworn in on May 26, 2014. Here is the important classification between Council of Minister and Cabinet. Generally, these 2 terms are interchanged or interchangeable terms, but reality they are not same. Prior to 44th Amendment of Constitution, the word cabinet is not mentioned in the Constitution. All the executive powers of the President are exercised by the Cabinet headed by the Prime Minister. The Cabinet determines and formulates the internal and external policies of country. It takes all major decisions regarding defense and security of the country. Also, the Cabinet has the control over the national finance, and it is responsible for whole expenditure of the government as well as for raising necessary revenues. And it prepares the text for President to address in the Parliament. So here is the detailed differences between Council of Minister and Cabinet. Generally, Council of Minister will have wider body consisting of 60 to 70 ministers, but Cabinet means it's a smaller body, that is 15 to 20 ministers. Council of Minister means it includes all the ministers, that is Cabinet Minister, Minister of State and Deputy Ministers. But in the Cabinet Minister means only the part of the Council of Ministers. So generally the Council of Ministers, they won't meet frequently, or they don't meet collectively. They don't have collective function, but Cabinet Ministers meet frequently and they have the collective responsibilities, collective functions. The Council of Ministers has all the powers, but only in theory. But in Cabinet Minister, they have all the powers and they give the information, or they give the orders to the Council of Minister to implement what are the functions they have to do. So its functions are determined by the cabinet. That is, council of minister functions are determined by the cabinet, and cabinet, it directs the council of minister by taking policy decisions. So generally the council of ministers implementing the decisions taken by the cabinet, and cabinet is normally supervises the implementation of decisions by the council of ministers. Again, as I told you earlier, council of minister, it is in the constitution, it is a constitutional body, it is dealt in detail by article 74 and 75 of the constitution. The size is not precisely told in the constitution, mentioned in the constitution, but according to the Britain parliamentary government, it has been developed three-tier body. That is, I told you, cabinet, minister of state, and deputy ministers. So the Salaries and Allowances Act of 1952 defines minister as a member of council of ministers. However, name called includes deputy ministers. As I told you earlier, the cabinet term was inserted in article 352 of the constitution in 1978 by 44th Constitutional Amendment Act. So it did not find any place in the original text of the constitution. Also, the article 352 only defines the cabinet, saying that the council consisting of prime minister and other ministers of cabinet rank appointed under article 75. So the people appointed under the article 75, they have the cabinet ring, they will come under this cabinet. Next, it is collectively responsible for lower house of the parliament. That is, council of ministers are collectively responsible to the lower house of the parliament, that is Lok Sabha. Cabinet enforces the collective responsibility of the council of minister to the lower house of the parliament. So generally it is like a supervising people. The cabinet ministers, or cabinet is the top of the council of ministers. They generally make the important decisions, and they distributes the work or functions to the other minister, that is minister of states and deputy ministers. So they only supervise the other ministers. Kitchen cabinet. We know that cabinet will have 15 to 20 important ministers. Out of these 15 to 20 important ministers, the highest decision making body in a formal sense, there is the inner cabinet or kitchen cabinet. They become the real center of power. Every prime minister in India had this inner cabinet circle. Prime Minister Nehru, he had inner cabinet considered Sardar Patel, Maulana Azad, Gopalasamy Iyengar, and Kitwai. Even A.B. Vajpayee had inner cabinet consisted of L.K. Advani, George Fernandez, M.M. Joshi, Pramod Mahajan, and so on. Presently, Narendra Modi, he have the inner cabinet consisting of Rajnath Singh, Arun Jaitley, Nitin Gadkari, Venkaiah Naidu, Sushma Swaraj. So these people comes under this inner cabinet or kitchen cabinet. They are the real power for the government, the real center of power. So this is what the kitchen cabinet. They meet frequently to make decisions regarding administration and security, defense, and all these things. So this is what the kitchen cabinet. Thank you, friends. So you must have enjoyed this video. Happy learning. Please, if you have any queries, please post it on the comment section. Please like and share. And so, if you are not subscribed my channel, please subscribe. Thank you very much.